Hauska to kickoff. Britton Golden and J.J. Nelson back deep for the Cardinals. And that kick will bound through the end zone. So Cardinals will have the ball at the 25-yard line.
Well, you know, the reason I think I would have burned those timeouts is I think Pete Carroll would have been forced to run the ball twice. He could not pass protect. He couldn't take a chance on a sack fumble in that situation. So you would have at least forced the punt there. Now, could something crazy have happened? Of course. But I really thought Pete Carroll and Darrell Bevell had gotten to the point where they said, you know what, we just can't take a risk here on dropping back here and losing our quarterback and maybe losing the game on a sack fumble.
Agreed, especially on a 2nd and 30. But Arians decides to go for overtime, wins the toss. And now you've got Johnson up to the 30-yard line. I mean, it's such a weird game in so many ways. We come out here tonight, maybe it would be a defensive struggle, but you're not thinking about 3-3.
No, not between these two teams. Of course, their defenses are very good. But you just wonder now, this Seattle defense has been on the field for so long. Do you just turn around and keep giving it to David Johnson at this point and wonder, are they finally to that point yet where maybe they're ready to give up some long run here?
So Johnson tonight, his longest run is 14 yards, but he's gained 101 yards on 28 carries. Leading the league in yards from scrimmage. They fake it to him. And then the pass to the outside is caught. And at midfield, it's Nelson. He spun away, got a couple of more yards, and has it at the 50-yard line, tackled there by Shed.
They brought Larry Fitzgerald down in a blocking formation to make it look like run all the way. And then Nelson's speed on the outside, he was left one-on-one because Seattle is forced to come up and play the run against David Johnson. So they go hard play action. He's one-on-one on the outside against maybe the fastest guy in the National Football League. Had to give him all that space.
From right at the midfield stripe. And nothing happening there. He's tackled immediately as he crosses the line of scrimmage or gets there. Tony McDaniel right there for the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Let's take a look down the line here. Michael Bennett. That's Bruce Arians was all over the fact that he thinks Michael Bennett is offsides on every play.
Three receivers to the right side. Palmer looking the other way. Ooh, he threw that into traffic. You had David Johnson as the intended receiver, and Wright was there. So 3rd and 10.
Don't you just get the feeling that some defensive play is going to win this game? You know, the
No
more
question.
you watch it, it's like every time somebody throws the ball, you kind of hold your breath. But the play to Nelson was a huge play, even if they have to punt the football, because what it did was it brought it to midfield. So now if you punt, you have a chance to pin them back and really put pressure on Seattle's offense to have to play backed up.
Which they've been doing all night long. Except the one time when they got the blocked kick and they turned that into a field goal. And now Seattle takes a timeout. You only get 2 in overtime. So they're down to their final 1 before the 3rd down and 10.
You know, Bruce Arians has the guts of a sailor, right? He's going to throw it in any circumstance, at any time, anywhere. But he's also seen what Michael Bennett and Cliff Averill and some of those guys have been able to do to his outside protectors.
So for Palmer tonight, 238. Wilson has had very few days or nights like this one in his career. And on the ground, Wilson's only carried the ball twice tonight for -2.
If I were to throw the ball here, I would want this one out of my hands before anybody had a chance to get there.
3rd and 10. And Palmer throws, and it is Floyd for an 18-yard gain to the 32-yard line. So a huge 3rd down conversion. 1st down at the 32.
Straight zone defense, and what a throw by Palmer here. He's going to split the gap between the two underneath coverages. That's not Sherman's responsibility. And the guy that had been struggling to catch the ball this year, Michael Floyd, makes a great catch in a clutch situation.
They feed it to Johnson. And Johnson is able to pick up 5 hard-earned yards. He gets to the 27. He's closing in on the rushing lead. Right now, Ezekiel Elliott of Dallas, I believe, would still be in front, but not by much.
This is like a repeat of when we were here for the New England game, right?
Opening
Have a chance to come down and win it with a field goal, and I think Bruce Arians would rather try and score a touchdown than try another field goal.
Oh, yeah. Field goal extends the game. Seattle would have one opportunity. A touchdown wins the game. This was the case in the Green Bay playoff game we did last year, and Arizona takes a timeout.
Charge timeout, Arizona. 30 seconds timeout.
So each team one timeout. We're going to see next Sunday night, Philadelphia, Dallas. The rookie Ezekiel Elliott is leading the league in rushing. You got the rookie Dak Prescott, who's been great. Carson Wentz. And the Eagles, that Eagle defense today was tremendous as they knocked off Minnesota. 5-1 of the Cowboys, 4-2 of the Eagles. Got a few storylines in that one. Washington losing today to Detroit, and the Giants went over to London and beat the Rams. So 4-3, everybody above 500 in the NFC East.
Fletcher Cox and those pass rushers over there in Philadelphia against maybe the best offensive line in football with the Dallas Cowboys.
David Johnson right now 30 yards behind Elliott for the rushing lead. And Palmer going to the end zone to try to win it, and it's broken up. Intended for Nelson, and that's Shed back covering on the play. Going for the win. Instead, it's 3rd down and 5.
What an unbelievable play by Shed to not have a pass interference. Watch how patient he is. He does not interfere with that play. I thought for sure when that ball was underthrown that he was going to get pass interference and ball on the 1 yard line. That was tremendous. I mean, that was tremendous. Now, Nelson could have jumped back through him and maybe drawn that flag, but great patience.
3rd and 5 from the 27. Palmer, good protection this time, throws, and at the 14-yard line, it is not caught by Floyd. He was there. He would have had the 1st down. Instead, you're going to bring in Catanzaro for an attempt of about 45 yards.
He makes a great catch in his hands. Let this one hit him right in the shoulder pads. There's nothing wrong with using your pads to help you make a catch, but you've got to put your hands on it at the same time it hits your pads. Oh. Now we got to watch Bobby Wagner.
The game will go on, even with a field goal. Catanzaro from 45. High drama again on a kick, and this time the kick by Catanzaro is good. So it is 6-3, and Seattle will now get 1 possession. 3.5 into overtime. 6-3.
Sunday night.
6-3. Wilson awaiting his turn. Tyler Lockett back to receive. Seattle gets 1 possession. They don't score, that's it. They get a field goal, we go on. They get a touchdown, they win the game. Tyler Lockett, bothered a little bit by injuries this season, but he's explosive. And Catanzaro will not give him an opportunity to run it back. So Wilson and company come out to the 25-yard line.
Here's Arizona's defense. They're getting ready.
Well, one thing about overtime, you look at the Seattle guys, that D, they're on a trampoline. Everything is 4th down territory now, so even if it's whatever it is, 4th down, you're going for it. There's nothing to lose, and that is the situation. Backup rookie left tackle in the game, George Fant. Rookie right guard, Jermaine Ifedi.
And defensively now, you're playing tight to these receivers. because you are confident that Seattle's offensive line can't block your guys.
And they give it to Michael, and Christian Michael takes it out to the 35. So a nice way to start. Comes off the backside. Graham lays down a nice block, and that's a gain of 10 and a first down.
Tight end's getting it done here. Brandon Williams, first block there, and then Jimmy Graham's going to come around and clean up the backside of that with a nice hit as well. So feels good when you're struggling with pass protection to hit a 10-yard run to start things.
Yeah, their longest rush of the night. From the 35, the fake to Michael, and then the pass is caught at the 48-yard line by Jimmy Graham. Threw a little change-up to him. Jefferson makes the tackle, and that's another first down.
I think this is one of the better throws that Wilson makes. When he is on the move, he has this innate ability to sort of lob throws out there. I've seen him do that on multiple occasions, even running directly towards the line of scrimmage and drop it in over the top of a defender. Not many people can do that one.
Perfect touch. First down. Gain of 13 at the 48-yard line. Stepping up, fires over the middle, and that's a gain of about 7. That's Graham again making the catch. It's going to be second down and 3. Chandler Jones put the heat on but couldn't get to him. 3 nice plays to start this drive.
Yeah, the pressure is getting there almost instantaneously. But now we've seen in the last couple of plays, Russell Wilson bootleg out right, now step up and through the pocket. He's starting to get in a little Russell Wilson groove here.
Gain of 8, second and 2, and going through the hole goes Michael, taking the ball to the 38-yard line. So just about on the edge of field goal range here.
There we go, right there. The double team there is what set that one up.
Seahawks picking a perfect time for by far their best drive of the night.
Well, it adds confidence when you get that extra down.
From the 38, Wilson hanging in the pocket, throws open again. This is Graham, and Jimmy Graham having some overtime period to the 23-yard line. That's a gain of 15.
Not only did he do that, he also helped in protection. Watch this. Knock down Josh Morrow and then go pick up the first down. You know, that's the reason you pay superstar players like that. And it's really an effective thing to start working those quick throws over the middle now to Jimmy Graham, who had kind of been lost in this game.
At the 24. Michael, this time they stop him just about at the line of scrimmage. Marcus Golden. So now you're in 3-down territory. You get the 4th down, you're going to kick a field goal there.
Boy, that Marcus Golden is just relentless. I am really happy to see guys that work as hard as he does and practice every day, all the extra stuff that he does. They have such great respect for him. Now starting to get the results and the sacks that he deserves.
Second and 9 from the 23. 4-man rush. Protection is good again. Caught 19-yard line. That's Lockett making the catch, and that will make it 3rd down and 4.
Boy, this is one of those times that ordinarily you'd say, all right, Russell Wilson on the edge, a bootleg, a quarterback draw, all the things that come into play. And do they now or not? I think Jimmy Graham is option 1 for me here. And he is going to be flanked out down here to the bottom, right?
He's out wide to the right. Bottom of the screen, 3rd down and 4. And Wilson throwing, and it's incomplete. Stopping was Graham. Tony Jefferson was back there. Now it's 4th down, so Hauschka comes in to attempt a field goal. And this would be about 36 yards.
I have no idea what Jimmy Graham did there. You know, it's like he did not anticipate that one at all.
Last one, he took a divot and still got it through. Not his favorite place to kick. From 36 yards to keep the game going. And he does. So each team with a field goal, and the next score will win the game. It is 6-6 with 6:42 left in the overtime period. So now we are in sudden death overtime. Next score wins the game. Game can end in the regular season in a tie. Very infrequently does that happen. The last one was 2 years ago. The Bengals and Carolina wound up in a 37-37 tie.
And there were a few players that didn't know that it could end in a tie.
Now, do you really want to call Donovan out on that?
No.
Okay, you just
But
did.
he wasn't the only one.
Correct.
He was the only one that admitted it.
Hauschka to kick off. He got Britton Golden and J.J. Nelson both back at the goal line. And Hauschka's kick. 5 yards in, taking a knee is Nelson, and Palmer will get the ball at the 25. Little recap of the game tonight, all defense, but David Johnson with 164 yards from scrimmage. He already led the league in that department. Russell Wilson, he's had better nights, but nice drive there. Special teams, of course, huge. 2 blocked kicks for the Seahawks. First one leading to their first score of the night, and then Hauschka with a 36-yard field goal in overtime to extend the action. From the 25. Play action. Palmer deep downfield, and that will be caught at the 50-yard line by Ifeanyi Moma, who made the first catch of his career in regulation. And of all guys, second-year guy out of Boston College, came off the practice squad in week 4. 26-yard gain.
You could see Michael Floyd up at the top running the post route, which drew Richard Sherman just enough out of that area to allow Carson Palmer to fire this one in there. And it's not always big arm throwers are needed in the National Football League, but that was one of those throws where he had to lay it in there perfectly.
Moma getting a chance to play because Fells was hurt. 3-yard gain here for David Johnson to the 45-yard line.
Well, you can only imagine how exhausted this Seattle defense has to be. I mean, they have been out there a lifetime in this game and have not folded yet. They just keep hanging in there, and this is a defense that has a way of making plays in these moments to win football games.
They've defended 84 plays, and they've been on the field for over 40 minutes.
Earl Thomas, Richard Sherman, some of these guys have a knack.
2nd and 7. Palmer, great protection, fires, and that pass is incomplete, intended for Fitzgerald. Everybody wants a flag. Everybody rooting for the Cardinals, of course, but they're not going to get one. 3rd down.
2 stars going at it right there. A little push by Larry Fitzgerald, ball overthrown, no call. That was the correct one.
So 3rd and 7. 5 receivers, a bunch to the left, 3, a pair to the right. Blitz coming. Palmer hanging in, fires over the middle, caught at the 31-yard line by J.J. Nelson, and off he goes. J.J. Nelson to the 5-yard line. Carson Palmer, they almost got to him, and Nelson takes the ball to a 1st and goal, 40 yards.
Right there is going to come up and run the end cut, and it's Richard Sherman who just loses his footing and can't come back to make the tackle. Well, I tell you, J.J. Nelson has made some big plays in this game, stepping up. John Brown unable to go. Michael Floyd missed the key pass, and he's getting some love on that sideline now.
So maybe you run a play or whatever, or Palmer takes the ball to whatever hash mark Catanzaro feels more comfortable with. Field goal wins the game, and the play clock was at 1. Took him that long a period of time to get down there, take a timeout. When do you kick it? Right now?
You know, ordinarily, but Bruce Arians, I mean, how long did he talk with us about this? What has happened to his field goal teams and how it's hurt him this year and how they could be undefeated and all those sorts of things.
Take a look again at Nelson, and Palmer almost getting sacked. There's Nelson working on Sherman.
Yeah, the weird thing was Richard Sherman was all over that route. He almost broke before Nelson did and just stumbled a bit. It's the famous dancer Drew Stanton.
Yeah, we saw him in Seattle last year when Ellington ran for a game-winning touchdown with that fabled dance. And now you line up on a 1st and goal from the 5. Give it to Johnson. What he has to do is hold on to the ball, and he's going to hold on all the way, I think, to the end zone. But they're going to say he's out just before he gets to the goal line. Knocked the pylon off its mooring. 2nd down and goal.
Boy, Earl Thomas came out of nowhere to push him out of bounds. Boy, that's interesting because he does extend that ball.
And now they come right up to the line, and they give it to Johnson, and he cannot get in. Bobby Wagner stops him at the half-yard line. One more look. You can't challenge it. Everything is reviewable in New York if they want to stop it. But they didn't. And now, do you bring in the field? I think you bring them in here. I mean, what are you doing at this point?
You assume that was close. I think once that foot hit the pylon, though, but you know, you just kind of, you got to look at Bruce Arians. You know he's watching this with half his eyes closed here, and
well, that's why he has a new snapper. The play clock is to 0, so that's going to cost him 5 for a delay.
12 men on the field in formation with the snap imminent. Excuse me. First delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
They got it right here. So he has a new snapper and a new holder. We got Aaron Brewer snapping, picked him up. Ryan Quigley, who came in to punt, is the holder. So these are different guys than had the problems in the New England game on opening day and the Buffalo game.
Here's Wagner right in the middle. Same thing. He's going to be trying to jump over the top. One of those guards need to reach up with their hands and make some contact with him.
24-yard attempt. Oh, he hits the upright. It's no good. How in the world?
That's the reason. I'm just telling you. It has been a nightmare. It has been a nightmare for this team. Here comes Wagner right over the top and some pressure off the side. Was that Sherman coming around the edge?
He thinks he's won the game. Oh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Can't make this stuff up.
Wagner up over the top. And he made contact again. It must have been incidental.
So now the ball is at the 20-yard line. It's funny. I just got it. Kristen Michael picks up 1. Arizona doesn't have a timeout.
My understanding of the rule, which is clearly wrong, is if you jump over and you make contact, if you jump cleanly, you're fine. But there we got Earl Watford putting his arm up and making contact, so maybe, I don't know.
By the way, if you're thinking Seattle can run it out and settle for the tie, which would be still beneficial to them, there is a 2-minute warning in overtime. They play this like a fourth quarter, so the clock will stop. 2nd and 9, catch made up at the 26-yard line. That's Doug Baldwin. Now you got a 3rd down. They can take it down to the 2-minute warning. There's Catanzaro. Does he get another opportunity down the line? Because if they stop him here, they're going to get the ball back. I'll tell you what, a guy that is a big hero right now is Kelsey McRae. He's the guy that chased from behind and got Nelson at the 5-yard line to stop him going into the end zone after Sherman had missed the tackle.
And the fact that there was no touchdown on the reach for the pylon, and Earl Thomas's play to knock him out there.
So 3rd down and 4. The clock is going to stop at 2 minutes right there. So you got a 2-minute overtime warning. Not sure all the players necessarily knew what the situation was here.
Warning. 2 minutes.
Man alive.
This is nuts.
3rd and 4 when we come back. So 2 minutes. Seattle would have a timeout. Arizona does not. Go back to the Wagner play again and the missed field goal.
Well, by the time Watford reached his arm up, that was Watford initiating the contact, so he did not hit the center, did not land on the center.
Sherman,
no foul.
Sherman laid out, couldn't get to it. 3rd and 4. Interesting play call here. Incomplete pass leaves Arizona a lot of time after a punt. Wilson down the left sideline, and that's caught by Curse. Covered by Marcus Cooper on a 3rd and 4. Gutsy call.
Because they brought all the pressure. Watch all this stuff coming in here. And this offensive line all night long has been tough. Perfectly picked up that time. You get the one-on-one on the outside against Cooper. Speaking of a guy who makes some big plays in this place, Jermaine Kearse has made a few too.
31-yard gain. Michael. And he is going to get them very close to field goal range before he is taken out of bounds. Clock stop, 1:47. Gain of 6.
This is a Pete Carroll kind of football game, isn't it? I bet you he said 50 times on that sideline tonight, don't give up, guys. We're going to make a play. Special teams, defense, somebody's going to make a play. We're going to win this game. I promise. He's over there going, we're going to win this game. I promise you're going to win it.
Now they bring the rookie Alex Collins into the backfield on 2nd down and 4. And they give it to Collins. He gets a yard, maybe a yard and a half. So right now you are looking at about a 55-yard field goal attempt if they don't gain another yard.
Russell Wilson was telling us that sometimes he goes over to the sideline in the toughest of moments, and he and Pete Carroll look at each other and go, I love this. I love being in this situation. Can you believe we get to do this? How much fun is this? And here they are again.
Not a lot of fun right now on the Arizona bench. It's 3rd down and 3. At the 36. Clock running down to a minute left in overtime. And Wilson fires it to the outside, and Baldwin stays in bounds, and Baldwin takes the ball inside the 10. Broke away from Ty Matthew. And now you got a 1st and goal, and of course, Hauschka figures to be coming in at any moment.
Matthew, no question, one of the better slot guys, has been struggling with that knee injury. Clearly not himself just yet. Oh, boy.
1st and goal. Catanzaro. Opening night. Disaster. Not his fault that night. Bad snap. Through the middle goes Kristen Michael. This would be about as bad a loss as a team could suffer if you're Arizona.
To have your defense play the way they've played tonight
and to be in a chance to get a half game out instead of 2.5 out and losing head-to-head. And also, before you hit the upright there, you had that 5-yard delay of game penalty. So now Hauschka comes in to try to win the game. 28-yard attempt. John Ryan to hold.
Oh.
And he misses it. That's impossible.
Oh, my God.
That is impossible.
I'm telling you, there's something inside his brain about this building.
Woo.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
That could not have happened.
You know what? Maybe this is justice for all concerned.
Oh, man. I guess if a game deserves to wind up in a tie, this is the one. Ryan puts it down. Hauschka just pulls it.
I'm just telling you, and we've watched this, Al. Every kick that Hauschka has made tonight, he has gone up and fooled around with the turf and felt uncomfortable. I don't know if he stuck his foot in the ground. That first field goal barely cleared. He kind of chunked that one a little bit. And maybe the happiest guy in the building right now is Chandler Catanzaro. Oh, my goodness.
And Larry Fitzgerald watching. Peterson watching. Ball at the 20-yard line. So do you settle for the tie, or do you air one out here and hope for a pass interference penalty that would extend the game? You got 3 receivers and a bunch to the right.
Just be careful you don't get one picked off and have nothing but offensive linemen back there to try and make a tackle.
Or do you run the Stanford play here? Here's Fitzgerald. He gets out of bounds, and there's 2 seconds left on the clock. So you run a 5-second play, and you got one more opportunity. Defensive foul would extend the game, even though there'd be no time.
You know, just be careful with a guy like Larry Fitzgerald going down the field. He can make it look like a pass interference when it's not a pass interference, and a little acting on his part here. Don't be stunned.
Be a gutsy call by any official to call pass interference here.
Well,
but who knows? Who knows? There's your all-time prevent defense. 3-man rush. Palmer running away. He's going to air one out all the way downfield. Jump ball incomplete. A bomb and incomplete. Fitzgerald, the intended man in the end zone, and that's the way it will end. 2 chip shot field goal attempts that could have won the game. So these guys go 75 minutes. Neither sees the end zone. That's going to make this whole race in the NFC and the NFC West in particular a little crazy when you throw that tie in that nobody figures you'll have. So the Cardinals are 3-3-1, and Seattle is 4-1-1. Catanzaro missing this one. Hauschka missing his. It winds up 6-6 in OT, and we will have the Volkswagen post-game report coming right up.